Good evening. My name is Larry Dory, principal of Acton-Boxborough Regional High School. To start our evening, I'd like to introduce our senior madrigal singers to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, please enjoy our international welcome.
Buenas tardes, ActonBoxborough, y bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación del año 2020.
Мано, 歡迎嚟到2020年度嘅畢業典禮. Добро пожаловать на выпускной 2020 года.
Bem-vindos à cerimônia de graduação das escolas de Acton-Boxborough, classe 2020.
नमस्ते 2020 के स्नातक समारोह में आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है.
Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Acton-Boxborough Regional High School graduation exercises.
Thank you to George Arsenault, the Acton-Boxborough Concert Band, to the members of the senior class who performed our national anthem, and to our seniors who offered the international welcome. Mr. Light, members of the Acton-Boxborough School Committee, central office administrators, principals, honored guests, families, friends, the many course members of the graduating class of 2020. It is my privilege to officially welcome you to our virtual graduation ceremony. Before we begin tonight, I'd like to take a moment to honor a member of our class of 2020 who will forever be in our hearts and in our prayers. Your classmate, Jake Goyette, sadly left us in July of 2018. Some of you had the joy of knowing Jacob personally, and for those of you who did not, he was a brother, a son, and a true friend who bring light and laughter into any room he walked into. His love for track and field shined through with his drive, commitment, determination, and joy of competing, coupled with his care and support of his teammates. Above all, we should emulate the compassion and love showed us, strive to be the best of ourselves, whether on track or off. Today we'll remember you. Run with the angels, Jake. To the graduates, I actually began writing my opening remarks to you in December. At that point in the year, you had overcome and adapted to a new bell schedule you had previously contested. I thought for sure that would be your legacy. I thought it would be a great topic to distinguish the class of 2020 and possibly quiet the critics. Then on February 7th, it was a member of the senior class who led the AB Racial Justice Walkout. You talk about prophetic. Then came March 12th. I found myself on the public address, the end of the day, telling you that the building would be closing for an indefinite period of time, and you should be sure to bring your belongings with you. My own idea of indefinite at that time was 2, maybe 3 weeks at the most. At that point, I realized that it was time to send my original remarks to the trash can and start all over. A modified bell schedule seemed such a trivial obstacle compared to what you would be encountered this year. A worldwide pandemic, national cries and actions for racial justice, and an economy and recession would converge. You, the class of 2020, have faced adversity in unprecedented forms and did so with grace and optimism. We know by history we've faced similar challenges in the past. Truth be told, systematic institutional racism is a condition that has never gone away in our country, and it's time that it does. Pandemics have been stopped, only to be replaced by new pandemics down the road. Recessions have come, gone, and come back again. We have the ability to make things better. We have proven this before, but there's still so much work to be done. The class of 2020 was handed a bad deal this spring. Despite expressing some disappointment and initial heartache, there isn't one of you who hasn't gone on to acknowledge that the issues we face extend well beyond the celebrations lost by the class of 2020. I want you to know that you've truly earned my respect by the way you've carried yourselves. So this is the point of the speech where I'm supposed to tell you that it's your calling to go out into the world and make it a better place. I don't really believe that. Every generation needs to take responsibility. We're in this together. The AB faculty and staff will continue to look at our own practices, particularly around social justice, racial justice, and equity. And we will work together with you and the graduates before and after you to make this world a better place for all. Together we can get it right. We love you all. Now I'm pleased to introduce our first student speaker, Anjali Rahman, with her speech titled, Musings from the Tea.
I'd like to begin, of all places, on the train. Commuting on the MBTA last summer was suffocating. Humid air, elbow-tight quarters, and bureaucratic dysfunction. Those familiar with the MBTA know, while it may not be purgatory, the myriad track fires and derailments certainly seem a condemnation of moving forward. Perhaps divine communication that life passes as quickly as blurs in train windows, a sign we must slow down and respect the journey. But if my hours of MBTA travel last summer taught me anything, it's that life just doesn't move fast enough sometimes. The more I struggled to reach my destination, the faster I sank into a quicksand of monotony that resembled the inside of a musty subway car. Quite frankly, the journey was boring. I'm sure we're all well aware of the old adage that the journey is the destination. Everybody from Ralph Waldo Emerson to Miley Cyrus has communicated that where we end up matters much less than what we do along the way. But the MBTA taught me that the journey can be mundane. It's hard to respect it if it's just evening traffic and lines at the grocery store and standing toe-to-toe with fellow passengers on the train. So after graduating in a few moments, is this train of monotony the one we must board? Are these pits of the banal and the arbitrary all that await us? I'd like to think we're destined for more. Because in those hours amidst the train's heat, I remembered the comforting warmth of July nights watching fireworks at Narrow Park. The buzz of the lights reminded me of the June bugs that swarmed the Lions Club Town Fair on School Street every summer, the smell of funnel cake and cinnamon wafting in the air. I reminisced about jumping in puddles on the Conant playground, rainwater and mud enveloping me as I stood at the station all those years later in the middle of a downpour, waiting for the next train. The waves of nostalgia soon put out the train's fires. Class of 2020, I know we're prepared to tackle the future, to overcome and thrive despite overwhelming challenges. But I also know we're prepared to tackle the silences, the pauses between the action, those moments that seem like simply the halt before better things, because we have the immense propensity for imagination and memory. So even when the journey isn't what you expect, like it certainly hasn't been as of late, I hope you'll remember the parts you enjoyed the most and hold them oh so tightly and endure. I found myself home one evening, watching snow fall from a purple sky and wondering if Superintendent Light would stir me awake with good news the next morning. Before we all knew it, though, schools would close, cooped up at home, distanced from the hustle-bustle, and without much toilet paper. I thought much of what was once so ordinary, so mundane. As the days blurred together, I remembered the snowball fights and the forts and snowmen of our childhood. And I wished I went outside that day and made a snow angel. I wished I had made my own snow day, and I wished for the world to spin normally again. So, class of 2020, instead of wishing greatness upon us, I yearn for the mundane, because we now know more than ever to appreciate it. Because lines at the grocery store can become a metallic version of the bumper boats at Kimball's, carts swerving to avoid collision. Because when the essay or presentation we've been working on inevitably falls from our hands, paper scattering, we can remember those fall afternoons we spent trying to catch leaves as they fell from trees vibrant as fire. Because in those moments when we only have time to eat a dry sandwich for lunch, we can remember how good those same sandwiches tasted after a day on the beach or by the pool, when our skin was still clammy from the cold water. Because I hope one day, when we're commuting home late at night in standstill traffic from cities with too much light pollution to see the sky, the beaming headlights of the cars around us will remind us of the stars, and we'll remember that we're part of a constellation of people just like us, that this is life, making a place for yourself when the world is still. Class of 2020, a train waits for us at the station, ready to carry us on a humid and crowded and long journey. We may need to keep our distance, for now at least, but we've made a lifetime of memories, and I hope you're as eager as I am to move forward, move onward, and board.
Good evening. In a few moments, I will have the opportunity to present the William Ryan Community Service Award. Before I do, I would like to make a few remarks to the class of 2020. You've had a remarkable 13 years at AB, and on behalf of our school committee, administration, and faculty across the district, congratulations. I also want to recognize, as you just heard, that this isn't the end you expected. Unfortunately, that will be a recurring theme of your lives, as it is for all of us at different times along our personal journeys. We often measure and define life moments by the traditions and routines we expect, and when they don't or can't happen, we feel a profound sense of disappointment. These are the moments in our lives when we have a choice. One of these choices is to try our best to recreate pieces of what was lost. Sometimes this leaves us feeling fulfilled, but often this leads to more disappointment as we recognize that we can't really recreate what was lost, and trying only leaves a shell of what was there before. We have another choice at these moments in life. When we come to realize that what was can't be, we can choose to create something new and something better. This is hard and often means we have to leave behind a piece of our former selves along the way. It requires vision, creativity, and the curiosity to see the possibilities that emerge when we stop looking to the past and instead look to the future. This is, in essence, what commencement is all about. It isn't about looking to the past, but instead requires us to look forward and envision the endless possibilities ahead of us. It would be easy in the middle of a pandemic that has taken so much of what you expected to question the idea of having endless possibilities ahead. If you focus on what you thought would be and not what can be, it will paralyze you. If you can, however, summon the curiosity to ask what new roads might lie ahead with unexpected turns, you'll be able to create a new reality for yourselves, one that was previously unimaginable. Sometimes in life, we need a moment of pause to allow us the freedom to reflect and come to a new and deeper understanding of who we are. I hope that this pandemic, with all of its challenges, provided you the time and space to become something new and wholly unexpected as well. And I hope you come to realize that the new you is better than the version you left behind. Earlier this spring, when we closed, I sent a letter to parents. In it, I shared a thought. Our kids are going to miss out on some opportunities, but they will also have some new ones. As a class, you saw a teacher parade to celebrate, well, you, and participated in the first rolling rally ever, and this provided your families an opportunity to be with you hand in hand, or at least in the car, as you received your high school diploma. If we all focused on what were the traditions of the past, there would never be these new opportunities. And I would be remiss not to mention the support of Black lives here in Acton and Boxborough and the local protests that were led largely by you and your fellow students. This wasn't an opportunity lost, but something that likely created more learning for our whole community about race, bias, privilege, and the impact that our structures and systems have had on people of color. This is what learning and growth looks like in its purest form, and I wonder if we would have been able to sustain this message if we all had been sitting in our offices and classrooms instead. I have every confidence that it will be your generation that drives us the long overdue changes that need to take place in our society. This commencement is your opportunity for change, both at a personal level and on a larger scale. But this change won't take place with you looking in your rearview mirror to wonder what could have been. Instead, it's your time to look forward and create something new, something that has yet to be imagined. Congratulations, class of 2020. We expect great things from you. Since 1995, the Acton-Boxborough Regional High School graduation ceremony has included a community service award to individuals or organizations within the Acton and Boxborough communities whose contributions have made a positive impact on the community and particularly on its young people. This award is symbolic of the support of the whole community and provides in bringing our young people to this point in their lives. In 2009, when Superintendent Bill Ryan retired, the school renamed the award the William L. Ryan Community Service Award in his honor. This year, we would like to recognize the Acton-Boxborough Food Services Department and the Acton-Boxborough chapter of the Neighbor Brigade. When in mid-March, school buildings abruptly shut down and in-school learning transitioned to remote learning, school staff and others immediately recognized that help would be needed for students who relied on the school for meals as well as for instruction. Within days, the Food Services Department, under the direction of Kirsten Nelson, had a system set up to prepare food for students who needed it and a way for families to access that food. Bag lunches, which included a bag lunch and a breakfast for the next day, were prepared in the high school kitchen, with cafeteria manager Amy French serving as site coordinator. And these lunches were available for pickup the first week of the school closure. And the process continued, growing week by week. School communications, the local press, reverse 911 calls, and a variety of online media were used to get the word out about these food resources, and publicity emphasized that help was available to anyone, whether or not they had a student in the schools. As the meal project was put into place, it became clear that more help was needed to hand out and deliver the meals to individuals and families. And it was here that the Acton-Boxborough chapter of Neighbor Brigade stepped up to help. Neighbor Brigade has operated in our town since 2016 to provide local help to families in need, and Executive Director Polly Mendoza saw the cooperation between the schools and her organization as a natural partnership. On a continuing basis, a rotating group of brigade volunteers met the cars that drive up to the high school to pick up food. Other volunteers delivered the meals to those who need this service because of illness or transportation difficulties. AB's Food Services Department and the Neighbor Brigade are involved with others in the area, such as the Acton-Boxborough United Way, the Acton-Boxborough Town Community Services Coordinators, the Acton Food Pantry, and Acton's Community Supper, holding weekly discussions to find ways to address the food challenges faced by residents during the pandemic emergency. The community and the school district are profoundly grateful to these individuals and groups who, through their generosity and leadership, cooperation and determination, are making a real difference in our communities. It is for this reason that we are presenting this year's William L. Ryan Community Service Award to Acton-Boxborough's Food Services Department and their partner in this effort, Neighbor Brigade. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to recognize our senior class leaders who've worked incredibly hard to support their classmates and keep their spirits up during these difficult times. Thank you to all of Jaros, Nathan Kavi, Devin O'Brien, Todd Yao, Charlotte Lee, and Dominic Pepalia. Our second student speaker this evening is Annie O'Brien with her speech titled, "We Have Earned This Moment."
Our whole lives we've been working towards this spring, the spring of 2020, our time to be celebrated for all that we've been through, accomplished, and where we are going next. For years together, we've run this great marathon of all our schooling, facing everything that came our way. We finished the race like every other class that came before us. And yet the crowd, the finish line, the trophies and celebrations are not what we've pictured, planned, or hoped for. There will be no familiar scenes, sounds, or memories. Though we are finishing this great race here online and not on Leary Field, it does not mean we haven't earned our moment. Absolutely not. Although this pandemic continues to bring such pain and heartache like any great challenge, it has also brought out the best in us. This spring, we are graduating having seen innumerable acts of incredible selflessness and bravery from healthcare and other essential workers. This has allowed for an honest assessment of who we are and what we value in our society. It has highlighted the power of science, communication, and collaboration, and it has clarified that the only way we succeed is together. I know there are many grave medical and economic realities in our world right now, but when I think of this spring, our marathon finish, I will think not just of the pain and sadness of missing the prom, the spring seasons, or a traditional graduation ceremony. I will also think of the nurses, many only a few years older than we are, working so many days on end that their masks have left marks on their determined faces. I will think of the people coming together to feed those who are out of work across the region. I will think of the teachers of AB, driving, honking, screaming, and cheering, so that a few seniors on my street could feel energized, happy, and hopeful. I'll think of the lengths that our entire community, our families, and the project graduation team went to help us celebrate this milestone. You made us feel like champions, and we are forever grateful. We have learned at a young age that we can't take anything for granted, that we need each other now more than ever. Our world needs us. We have earned this moment, we did the work, we ran this race, and I choose to see our finish reflected in the positive images of strength and community from this spring and this day. So yes, we will always be linked to this pandemic, but that includes being forever linked to all that is great about our community and our world. Though there's a lot we don't know right now, what I do know is that I am hopeful. I am hopeful because I know that the class of 2020 will be remembered not for what we missed, but for how we learned from this moment and how it guided the rest of our lives. Long live the AB class of 2020.
Good evening. I'm Bill Noeth. I'm the chairman of the math department. I'm here this evening to present the awards to this year's class scholars. Earning the status of class scholar at Acton-Boxborough is a tremendous accomplishment, considering the strong academic abilities and performance of the members of the class of 2020. The class scholars include Kevin Liu, attending Stanford University. Jonathan Yin, attending Yale University. Evan Zong, attending the University of California in Los Angeles. Serena Han, attending Harvard University. Ethan Geary, attending Dartmouth College. Samuel Chen, attending Brown University. Yu Ying Fan, attending the University of Pennsylvania. And Nathan Kavi, attending Harvard University. Congratulations.
Our third student speaker this evening is Catherine Shen with her speech titled, "Questions Onward."
Our class first gathered together at freshman orientation. Vitality and excitement filled the high school auditorium just as they do here virtually today. As we explored our new school, one message resurfaced again and again. Our administrators encouraged us to ask upperclassmen ambassadors for directions. Our teachers reminded us, if you're ever confused, don't hesitate to ask. From the very beginning of our time here at AB, we've been encouraged to inquire. Of all the virtues this district has instilled in us, I'd like to share two in particular with you today. One of curiosity and another of service. We as students have asked many questions over the past 4 years because being inquisitive has served as a pathway to better ourselves. In class, we've sought academic guidance from our teachers and mentorship from our counselors and advisors. We elicited literary insight through back and forth discussion inquiries. We've asked for 12 years whether we can sharpen our pencils during class. Congratulations, class of 2020. You can now sharpen a pencil without permission from an adult. We're the adults now. But a sign of growing up is asking ourselves how we can contribute to an ecosystem of giving back at AB. We've asked and answered bigger questions to better our community, and I proudly represent a class whose students embody the powerful intersection of curiosity and service. First, I see these virtues in the leadership of my classmates. By taking on roles of team captains, mentors to underclassmen, or volunteers with the causes most important to us, we've challenged ourselves to seek what we do well and how we can serve others. And upon experiencing legitimate challenges, we've posed bigger questions about our community. In the face of racial injustice and national gun violence, we asked ourselves, how can students affect change through activism? We asked, how can we raise awareness about mental health at Acton Boxborough? And worked with one another and with the school administration towards solutions. Amidst this public health crisis, we asked ourselves, how can we gather together as a class and celebrate our experiences at AB? Today, I challenge you to reflect upon the questions and answers we found in the past 4 years. Our actions prove how being inquisitive exposes problems in our world and how being proactive about service empowers us to implement tangible changes. As we embark on our journeys after AB, I know life holds a lot we don't yet know, and we'll pose many questions in the months and years to come like, how do you use a Tide Pod? And Mom, did you see my Venmo request? But we will also undoubtedly pursue questions like, what should I do with my life? Where do I belong? How can I serve the communities which have served me? As we enter into the post-secondary world, I'd like to leave our class with this. Invoke the courage to embrace the uncertainty of asking those hard questions and seek the answers to pursue your purpose. We can all positively touch the world around us. Yes, even you, future finance and accounting majors. Both lead and follow with grace, resilience, and compassion. Here's to celebrating what we've already learned and the answers to questions we'll keep daring to seek. Thank you, class of 2020, and congratulations. Here's to us.
We will now move forward with the reading of the names of the graduates.
Natasha Akali, Benjamin El-Qaidi, Spencer Alexander, Noah Ali, Tyler Amaral, Findley Anderson, Sydney Antes, Yuta Aoki, Nitya Arya Somayajula, Akarsha Ashok Kumar, Caroline Atherton, Jake Offiero, Charlotte Bachman, Varish Balaji, Sean Bamberry, Rajdeep Banerjee, Morgan Banta Ryan, Sayoni Barari, Cara Barbieri, Matthew Barrow, John Bartle, Jared Beauregard, Lauren Beggs, Christopher Bendig, Daniel Bennett Jeffries, Pratik Bharadwaj, Alexander Bielov, Alexei Bielov, Hayden Bischoff, Nathaniel Biscotti, Nicholas Biscotti, Eric Blankenship, Dante Blasi, Adeline Bogdan, Paulina Bulbarova, Lauren Bonica, Enzo Bonishenya, Miriam Bunar, Jeremiah Boutin, Olivia Bo Schulman, Jenna Bowers, Makia Brockway, Sienna Brolin, Carolyn Browning, Andrew Bruce, Anthony Buonamo, Adam Callahan, Saskia Campbell, Ryan Camposano, Zining Tsao, Nicholas Carmesino, Nicholas Chafee, Rohan Chakravarti, Edward Chang, Anna Charisset, Robert Chase, Annabella Chen, Catherine Chen, Samuel Chen, Yuhan Chen, Michael Cheng, Kyle Chi, Ray Cho, Yantung Chu, Michael Chuddick, Timothy Coakley, Max Cohen, Sarah Collins, Coleman Connolly, Sarah Connors, Julia Conquest, Colin Cooper, Sebastian Corp, Nicholas Cook, Alec Coverdale, Michael Crawley, Angelina Cronin, Kai Kurth, River Kurth, Andrew Dalaklis, Jillian Danahy, Demetrius Dopkas, Tal Dassault, Joshua Davis, Natalie Dawn, Michael DeRege, Elana D'Souza, Sarah Dean, Michael Deedy, Sophia Defoe, Lucas DeShepper, Shomili Day, Emily Deist, Smriti Dhananjaya, Abigail Dillon, Louisa Dillon, Timothy DiPaolo, May Dong, Nicholas Douglas, Caitlin Doyle, Elizabeth Driscoll, Jessica Duffy, John Dunning, Binyam Early, Aruti Ishvar, Anish Edara, Rafi Elkori, Eugenie Elise, Jacob Emmett, Maxwell Endersby, Kim Epling, Maxwell Ewing,
Valerie Fallica, Brody Fallon, Alice Fan, Yuying Fan, Catherine Fay, Zachary Feinstein, Allison Fenneman, Aidan Fenton, Liam Fenton, Juliet Field, Annika Fillion, Zoe Flanzer, Michael Flaum, Matthew Fleming, Ailish Flynn, Adam Ford, Jacob Formaggio, Jacody Forsyth, Nicole Fredericks, Annie Fu, Philip Galati, Victor Barbosa, Reed Gao, Lauren Gardner, Hugo Garo, Ethan Geary, Barrett Genovese, Matthew German, Fiza Galani, Casey Glacier, Nicholas Glover, Katie Gonzalez, Spencer Gore, Jordan Gottesman, Stephen Goulet, Rohan Goyle, Theodore Grabarek, Madison Grad, Bryce Green, Hayden Greenhalge, Shannon Gregg, Jacob Grusky, Catherine Gu, Michael Guditz, Kanakendu Gupta, Lucia Guerreri, Andrew Guthline, James Guthline, Jack Habersat, Maxwell Hall, Danielle Hahn, Serena Hahn, Alicia Howe, Varun Harish, Isabella Hart, Kevin Haas, Matthew Hecking, William Hemond, Logan Hesh, Jade Hicks, Elizabeth Ho, Lily Hollenberg, Elizabeth Holtz, John Hora, Andrew Hu, Bonita Huang, Felix Huang, Jasmine Huang, Juan Ha, Alice Hung, Megan Hurley, Vivian Hyler Banks, Amanda Iglesias, Julia Ignazio, Sila Enanolu, Songbawera Isa, Nikita Iyer, Arjun Jain, Kunal Jain, Olive Jaros, Youngjin Jung, Eric G, Irene G, Sarah Jin, John Jones, Alexis Joseph, Henry Joyce, Lauren Joyce, Amelia Jungins, Joseph Kalarickle, Benjamin Kaminsky, Catherine Kaminsky, Vanya Karabaji, Nithin Kavi, Sarah Kigi, Ryan Keeney, George Krampchenko, Philip Kidd, Andrew Kidder, Kaya Kinley, Nicole Kinselmeyer, Elizabeth Kirkman, Caitlin Knicker, Ratika Koirala, Deepak Kohli, Eileen Ko, Sanjana Krishna, Kirtana Krishna Kumar, Nikhil Krishnamurthy, Smita Krishnan, Vedant Kumar,
Ellie Lahoot, Marie Lahoot, Cody Layton, Viraj Lawande, Lena Layakubi, Hannah Lee, Isaiah Lee, Joshua Lee, Timothy Lee, Amber Lee, Brian Lee, Charlotte Lee, Cynthia Lee, Helen Lee, Stephen Lee, Holly Liang, Karen Lin, Joseph Lister, David Liu, Elsie Liu, Emily Liu, Haley Liu, Kelvin Liu, Kevin Liu, Matthew Liu, Felix Liu, Olivia Lopresti, Yaroslav Latotsky, Isabel Moss, Olivia Moss, Madison Mabarty, Elsa McNeil, Ryan Macri, Samuel Max, Rihanna Maboob, Kelsey Myra, Kervin Malleus, Benjamin Mallet, Susanna Malloy, Kar-Ching Men, Emma Mangiol, Lucy Mann, Leah Marson Van Meter, Nicole Marson Van Meter, Kylie Marden, Victor Margaret, Betty Markman, Jane Marlowe, Haley Martin, Ethan Martineau, Jacqueline Martone, Ava Matarisi, Benjamin Matson, Cooper Matthews, Ramsey Matthews, Eleanor Matz, Summer Maxwell, Corbin McAlpine, Jillian McCarthy, Haley McElwain, Taylor McGinty, Aaron McOscar, Scott McWinney, Christian Meinhold, Lauren Meinhold, Amelie Mendelson, Nicholas Michaelides, Colt Miranda, Aviral Mishra, Satwik Misra, Ashley Moore, Imadidine Mpanga, Victor Mujat, Andrew Murray, Zachary Myers, Priyanka Nanda, Niranjan Narasimhan, Samuel Newcomb, Rena Nisrin, Caitlin Nolan, Anne O'Brien, Devin O'Brien, Emma O'Connor, Molly O'Neill, Eden Olaiwole, Julia Olney, Liam Olson, Nicholas Olson, Wilhelm Osselman Shai, Andrew Pock, Anthra Pog, Jared Palazzo, Jeffrey Pon, Kelly Powell, Christopher Paone, Dominic Papalia, Jyotish Pari, Joseph Park, Nikan Parsai, Snignita Patra, Jillian Patterson, Jack Pearson, Emma Perkins, Emmerich Perot, Elsa Peterson, Luca Petracchi, John Pierce, Michael Pierce, Daniela Pinpin, Anthony Pittarino, Sarah Pollock, Alexandra Ponce, Nicholas Pusillo, Anne Tien,
Sonali Rai, Anvitha Ramachandran, Anjali Raman, Drisha Raman, Mira Ramesh, Allison Reinert, Sean Reynolds, Maria Rezka, Francis Richardone, Emily Rickard, Spencer Roach, Gabrielle Roberts, Ksenia Romanova, Samantha Rolls, Mila Rushkin, Emma Russo, Christoph Ruschik, Alexander Richlick, Gabriela Sajeda, Dalwin Sogdanel, Victor Solomon, Sean Seymour, Niragi Shah, Kunal Sharda, Kayla Shaughnessy, Andrew Shu, Catherine Silva, Anna Sinclair, Rohan Singh, Kendall Sippy, Alexander Smith, Brian Smith, Jennifer Snow, Jae Chong Sun, Basil Sasunis, Ashwin Srinivasan, Ayala Bridget Santamaria, John Stewart, Veronica Stout, William Stovall, Abigail Strayer, Emily Streeter, Corey Sudana, Margaret Sullivan, Nathan Sullivan, Eric Sun, Anish Sundaram, Mehul Suri, Casper Sweat, Angelina Tawfiq, Michaela Tessier, Winston Thompson, Hannah Thorpe, Julian Thoreau, Tiger Tien, Louisa Tizi Ugdahl, Megan Tobin, Sean Tobin, Rebecca Torres, Diana Tusarkani, Siobhan Towie, Alexander Trujillo, Vera Tom, David Titrin, Guilin Tully, Charu Tiagi, Zoe Umora, Jordan Urdi, Aditi Valatharasu, Matthew Velasco Shen, Nicholas Venti, Emily Vergne, Maria Vignolo, Zachary Valinsky, Thomas Walsh, Brent Wong, Anna Ward, Alyssa Washburn, Grace Watman, Jack Webber, Summer Weidman, Vivian Williams, Daphne Wong, Carlson Wu, Elise Wu, Julia Wu, Christine Xiang, Dora Xiao, Evan Xiong, Riley Xiong, Emily Xu, Gracia Xu, Michael Xu, Olivia Yang, Todd Yao, Jonathan Yin, Carissa Yu, Colin Yu, Jennifer Yuan, Erin Zhang, Alex Zhang, Brian Zhang, Eric Zhang, Ralph Zhang, Emily Zhao, Eric Zhao, Simona Zilberberg.
To the members of the Acton-Boxborough Regional School Committee and all citizens of Acton and Boxborough, with the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and furnished with all of the appropriate and necessary information by Principal Larry Dory, I hereby certify and attest that these 445 young people have, in fact, successfully completed all of the requirements of the Acton-Boxborough Regional High School as set forth in school committee policy. Therefore, on this date, June 12, 2020, I, Peter Light, Superintendent of Schools, recommend all of their names to you at this time for graduation. Graduates, if you are wearing your caps, you may now move your tassel to the left side. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
And now our musical number, It's Time, performed by our very own senior band.
So this is what you meant when you said that you were spent. And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit back to the top. Don't look back. Packing our bags and giving the academy a rain check.
I never wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, the city never sleeps at night.
It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am? So this is where you fell, and I'd like to sell the path to heaven runs from miles of crowded hell right to the top. Don't look back. Turning the rags and giving the commodities a ranger.
I don't ever wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, the city never sleeps at night.
It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am? It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am? This road never looks so lonely. This house doesn't burn down slowly. To ashes, to ashes. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am? It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am?
And now, for our sending forth, please welcome retiring Math Department Leader, Mr. Bill Noeth. Following Mr. Noeth's remarks, please stay tuned for our rolling rally video, followed by our community send-off.
I'm very happy to share the events of your virtual graduation day with you. You are a class whose lives have been somewhat sandwiched between historical events. Most of you were born shortly after the planes hit the World Trade Center. You are graduating tonight in a manner that no one else has in any of our lifetimes. You have remained strong and stayed together as a class during a worldwide pandemic, even for the past 3 months when it was not possible to be physically together. Keep in mind the great memories of your times over the years, and keep the events of the past few months in perspective. This too shall pass. It's normal to be at least a little anxious about your future and that of your classmates and friends, especially since there is still uncertainties as to what will happen over the next couple of months. Your final months of high school certainly did not go as anyone planned. But history shows us that it is some of the generations that faced the most challenges that ended up making the biggest differences. Your class is definitely in that category. When the phrase social distancing becomes just a memory, which will hopefully be soon, put away your cell phone, stop texting, and sit down and actually talk to people in person as much as you can. Personally, I can't wait until I can call a friend and meet them for coffee or for lunch, as opposed to talking to them through technology or through a Zoom call. As you leave Acton-Boxborough for possibly the final time, remember that the faculty and staff are always here to support you. Come back and visit physically when it's possible to do so. We will never forget the members of the incredible class of 2020. We send you forth with utmost confidence that you will meet with success in the years to come. Congratulations.
did it. Congratulations.